Welcome back to Car Finance Simplified, folks. JD here again with another quick video for you. Hope you're all safe and well. On today's episode, we're going to be looking at why it's always good to shop around when you are looking for a Volkswagen Polo. So welcome back. So I had an email the other day from one of my viewers, so thank you very much for that. And they were basically looking at purchasing a new Volkswagen Polo 95 horsepower TSi Match. Okay, now for the purposes of these examples, I'm going to assume that no options were added on, just to make it a fair comparison. So initially, it's going to be a short video, this is really, but initially, this particular chap obtained this quote. So first and foremost, not a deal of use, really. Look what it says. Quote for 1 litre Polo 95 PS TSi. £500 deposit, £283.42 a month. No payment until January. This is the funny part. Volkswagen pay your first 3 monthly rentals. Is that true? Or is it really just a deferred payment and interest is still accruing in the background? 1 year's breakdown cover, 3 years warranty, and it was also offered 2 years servicing, £199. So that's quite nice. Now, first and foremost, what good is this quote? If you're the kind of person who only is interested in what your monthly payment is, then I guess it's quite a good quote. It's telling us that we need to put £500 deposit in, and it's telling us what the monthly payment is. I've just noticed something else which I didn't notice in the first place when I spotted this. How many monthly payments is it? Doesn't even give us a term. So is it 36 months? Is it 35 months? Is it 48 months? 49 months? Blah, blah, blah. Nothing. What's the APR? Doesn't tell us. Is it a PCP? Doesn't tell us. If that's an HP agreement, that's a bit of a bargain. Unless it's a 20-year term, which we don't know about. So essentially, not much use. So if you are given a quote like this, do dig a little bit deeper, because it doesn't tell us anything. It doesn't even tell us what kind of finance agreement it is, let alone the term, let alone the APR, and let alone, if it is a PCP, what's the guaranteed future value. So anyway, then this chap went to another dealer's, who he was much more impressed with, and they provided this quote. So this is much more like what we want to see. So this is the proper generated quote from Volkswagen Audi Finance, or Volkswagen Financial Services, I should say. And it tells us here, look, that it's 48 months. So this is going to be a 47 equal month agreement, with month 48 being where the final rental of as they quote here, or where the guaranteed future value lies. It's telling us it's 5.4% APR. It's telling us that there's a 6,000 mile per annum agreement into the PCP. That really only affects the agreement if you hand it back at the end. Most people would part exchange before that. So it's not, mileage isn't that important on a PCP, unless you want to take advantage of that guaranteed future value at the end and you want to hand the car back. However, it's 6,000 miles per annum, it's 5.4, it's a monthly payment of £247.13. So this tells us a lot more information. And this was on a brand new car, okay, made to order, basic spec, 1 litre TSi 95 Match, okay. So then, after he'd received that quote. Now, I think this quote came from CarWow. So this was generated by going on to CarWow and then seeing what dealers came forward. When that came in, he went back to the original dealer, and this is what he was offered this time. Now, first and foremost, this is a screenshot of the software that the dealer uses. It's not obviously the same as what you would normally get, but it does pretty much tell us all the information we need. So it tells us that it's 49 months. So there's the first thing that we always need to bear in mind when we're trying to compare deals. This deal, or this offer I should say, was 48 months. So remember, that's 47 equal payments, month 48 being where the final value lies. This quote is 49 months, so 48 equal payments, month 49 where the final value lies. Now they're saying 246.70 and they're saying 247.13. So you might go, oh brilliant, well they've beaten the deal by what, 43 pence a month? But they haven't, because it's one more month. So that's why it's always a good idea. Now the other thing that this doesn't tell us, that this one does, is it doesn't tell us what the total charges are. So we can't really make a fair comparison, because A, it's 1 month longer, and B, it doesn't tell us what the total charges are. The final value on this one is 6255, on this one it's 6277, so slightly higher final value. Again, have they manipulated that just to try and get the monthly payment down? Now the interesting thing, the most interesting thing I should say, is this was on a pre-registered car. And you see they put here, look, pre-registered 70 plate, 15970 purchase price, today's only price, 15170. No deposit. We'll come back to that in a minute because that's a little bit ambiguous. They are giving 2 free services, so that's good. But look at the interesting thing here. If you dig a little bit deeper onto this quote, it's a pre-registered car, so it's not, you're not technically going to be the first owner. And because it's a pre-registered car, if you can see, I hope you can on the screen, they are quoting, look, VW used 0 to 12M. So presumably that means it's a used car between 0 and 12 months old. 6.9%. So because it's a pre-registered car and not a brand new car, we're not getting 5.4%, we're now getting 6.9%. So we're paying more interest for a pre-registered car over a longer period, which at first glance is cheaper per month. So it's, again, it's another way of manipulating things. If you're only interested in the monthly payment, then most people would probably go for that. But you are buying a car which is pre-registered rather than brand new. You've got a slightly higher guaranteed future value, which means you're going to have slightly less equity in the agreement. And you've got a higher interest rate. So anyway, what I did after all of this, I just thought, okay, well, this chap's been to CarWow. Let's see what else we can find. So I went over to Coast to Coast. Now, Coast to Coast cars, I'm no affiliation with at all, you know, as I always say. But let's just see what we can get on Coast to Coast. So bear with me, I just need to navigate back over here. So we're going to go build new car. And we're going to go Volkswagen. We're going to go, sorry, I can't see my screen. We're going to go Polo. We're going to go petrol, manual, I'm assuming it was manual, 5 doors, the only option, and we're going to go for 1 litre TSi 95, and we're going to go for match specification. Now I'm going to assume there's no options, standard colour paintwork, etc. Let's just see what this comes out at. 14760. Now be aware when you're looking at Coast to Coast and other places, because they are including, look here, a £1,500 deposit contribution if you take finance. So if you were a cash buyer or personal loan or whatever, you would be paying 16,260. So we are going to use Volkswagen's finance because that's what the other quotes are based on, and this is saying 14,760. So let's just nip over to the spreadsheet, and assuming that the guaranteed future value and everything else is the same as this quote here, let's just see what this would come out at. So over to the spreadsheet. If you are new to the channel, let me just make sure you're aware that you can purchase this spreadsheet for a one-off donation of £10, and that will include every update I ever make. I do regularly update the spreadsheet, so if you would like a copy, do email me here. A lot of people are finding it useful. Let's put our figures in. So from CarWow, it was 14,760. So 14,760. We're going to assume no deposit. Or you could do it another way, and you could say, okay, well, it's 16,260 with a £1,500 dealer deposit contribution. Guaranteed future value was 6255. Starting month, we'll say this month, October 2020, and the quoted APR 5.4. And now remember, when you use this spreadsheet, that's the number of equal payments. So we'll base our example on this one, which was 48, which means there's 47 equal payments. So into the spreadsheet we put 47. Comes out, look, at 228.69. Zoom in a little bit for you. 228.69. So I've just been to coast, and I have beaten the CarWow quote by what, nearly £20 a month, and we've also beaten the pre-registered offer from the other dealer as well. The other thing that's worried about this is today only. So is that a bit of, I don't know, are they saying you can only have this rate if you buy this car today? Is that a bit of pressured selling? I don't know how I feel about that. I'm sure if you went tomorrow you might get the same price, but who knows. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to say about this particular bit is, look, it says no deposit. However, yes, that's technically true. What that means is they're not asking us to put any deposit in, but if you look up here, it says there is an £800 retailer deposit. Now, I only mention this is because this can affect where your voluntary termination rights lie, because if it's treated as a deposit on the agreement and shown as a deposit, that can help. If it's shown as a discount and there's no deposit, it doesn't really change it. Let me just show you what I mean. So if we just nip over to the spreadsheet, look. So what we've got, 15970 is this pre-registered one with an £800 effective dealer deposit contribution, nothing from us. Guaranteed future value was 627750. And it was 6.9, remember, not 5.4. And it was 48 equal payments because it's a 49-month quote. So that's coming out on the spreadsheet of 247.34. They've got 246.70. So slightly out. As I always say, the spreadsheet, due to rounding, can be slightly out. But let me just show you the point I'm making. Because this is shown as a deposit, the VT point on this would lie at about month 35. So remember, VT is where you have paid 50% of the total amount payable. That's including charges. So obviously if you've paid some deposit, that already comes off the 50% value, if you like. But if we show this as no deposit and a purchase price of 15,170, it's exactly the same monthly payment, but the VT point is now 36.7 months. Because we've got no deposit. So it's interesting whether, you know, I've had agreements where you think you're getting a deposit, but actually it's a discount, and that can affect where the VT point lies. So just something else to bear in mind. So effectively we would have to have, if it was shown as a discount and not a deposit, we would have to pay pretty much 37 months before we could VT. If it's shown as 15,970 with an 800 deposit, monthly payment exactly the same, but the VT point moves to month 35. So just something to bear in mind about that. I hope that was useful. Just another example of different ways that you can be manipulated to get that monthly figure. This monthly figure, before I tried coast to coast, yes, it beat the previous quote, but it was a pre-registered car, it was a higher APR, it was a slightly higher guaranteed future value. So just analyze these quotes properly, folks, before you sign up for anything. Hope that was useful. Please do comment, please subscribe if you haven't yet done so, and I will see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.